Hey, my journaling buddies, welcome back to episode 12. Glad to have you here today. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. How are you feeling? Are you ready for Valentine's Day? Do you not bother with this season? Or are you excited for your gifts from your loved one? Let me know at the end of this show. Go ahead and comment and let me know. How do you actually feel about Valentine's Day? Today we're diving into a hard but necessary conversation about the difference between a marriage that is striving towards growth and a marriage that is stuck in strife. Are you striving together or struggling against each other? Strife in marriage doesn't always show up as a loud argument or a dramatic fight. Sometimes it looks like silent tension that lingers for days. Do you know what I'm talking about? Feeling emotionally drained, disconnect even when physically present. A cycle of unmet expectations and growing resentment. This is hard stuff today. Even feeling like roommates instead of like partners. And here's the truth, guys. Many marriages don't just fall apart because of single argument or a single catastrophic event. They fall apart because of the slow erosion of gratitude that's missing, the appreciation that's not given, that intentional love that's not been received. But here's the truth. Gratitude is the key that shifts a marriage from survival to revival. That is awesome. A marriage built on gratitude is not free from challenges, not at all, but it is rooted in resilience, love, and honor. If your marriage feels stuck today, tense, or distant, today's episode will give you a practical and spiritual tool to cultivate gratitude so that you and your spouse can move from strife to striving together. You know what to do. Grab your journal, get your favorite drink, and let's get started. Welcome to Journaling with Judith, the podcast where gratitude transforms lives. I'm Judith, a wife, mom, John Maxwell leadership coach, and a daughter of the King. What if gratitude could shift your perspective on life? What if everything God has for you is in your gratitude posture? Together, we will explore how choosing gratitude can draw you closer into the will of God and manifest your divine birthright. Grab your journal, open your heart, and let's get started. Welcome back to Journals of Gratitude, journaling with your girl Judith. Thank you so much for being here with me today. To all my new followers, subscribers, thank you for tuning in. I'm your host Judith, and today we are diving into a very important and dear topic to my heart because I believe that every marriage should be striving and not in strife. So today we're going to discuss strife versus striving. What's the difference? Strife means constant tension, frustration, and emotional distance. It's when two people are living together but not truly growing together. The scripture tells us in Proverbs 17 verse 1, better a dry crust with peace and quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. Strife happens when small annoyances becomes big grievances because appreciation is missing. Communication turns into criticism. Instead of building up each other in words, we start tearing each other down. The marriage feels like a battlefield instead of partnership. But the truth is, strife doesn't just happen. It's cultivated by what we choose to focus on. Striving in marriage isn't about struggling against each other. It's about striving together towards a shared goal, shared achievements. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 tells us two or are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. So if each of them falls down, one can help the other up. A thriving marriage is one where both partners actively appreciate each other, even in small ways. Conflict leads to deeper understanding instead of division. Use your conflicts to understand your spouse, to listen, to share. Love is expressed in both words and action. Gratitude is the key to moving from strife to striving together. Gratitude shifts your entire perspective of your spouse and your marriage. This is your marriage. When you intentionally cultivate gratitude, it's like a farmer who tends to his field. See your spouse's strength instead of just their flaws. Focus on what's working instead of only what's broken. Speak life into your marriage. Speak life into your spouse instead of unknowingly cursing it with negativity. Be careful of the words that we pronounce. And here's how you can start implementing gratitude today. Gratitude in words. Changing the way you speak. Words can either build up your marriage or break it down. Words are very strong and they cut to the core. In times of tension, it's easy to focus on the complaints, such as, you never help me around the house, you don't listen to me anymore, you don't show me any love. But what if you shift your words instead of criticism? Use gratitude to encourage change. Instead, reframe your words. I really appreciate when you help me out. It makes a big difference. Or, I'm grateful when you take time to listen to me. I love how you used to leave me little notes. I miss that. That's a way of sharing your heart without coming across as negative or argumentative to your spouse. Proverbs 14:24 says, a gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Speak one intentional word of gratitude to your spouse every day. Gratitude is taking action. Remember our motto, small shifts, big impact. Love is not just spoken, it is shown, it's in your action. When we intentionally act on gratitude, it transforms the entire atmosphere of your marriage. The small actions make the big impact. Write a gratitude letter to your spouse. Leave it somewhere where it's unexpected. Remember, this week we're having our challenge. Please partake in that challenge with your spouse. Start a daily thank you habit. Thank them for something specific every day, and over time you will build that momentum. Another thing that you can implement is recreate a meaningful moment from your earlier relationship to reignite appreciation. Remember where you're coming from. Remember the things that you used to do before all this striving began. James 1 verse 22 says, do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourself. Do what it says. Action. Pick one small gratitude today to share with your spouse. My journaling buddies, this episode is deeply personal for me because I know firsthand what strife does to a marriage. My husband and I reached a point where we felt like our marriage was falling apart. Constant bickering, the arguments, the frustration that never seems to end, and the exhaustion it took on us, the feeling like we were fighting against each other instead of thriving together. It took reaching that breaking point for us to seek help, to seek the help and to step back from the situation to say, what are we doing? How can we move from conflict to connection through prayer, wisdom, and intentional change? God restored our marriage, and now we're in a place where we understand each other much better, we communicate with love and kindness, and choose unity over division. And I'm here to tell you, you can overcome this too. Strife in marriage isn't just emotionally exhausting, it also has physical consequences. Research from the state of Ohio University found that constant arguing in marriage leads to chronic stress, weakened immune system, and increased inflammation in the body. And here's what they discovered. Just one stressful argument can immediately weaken your immune system. 2. Repeated conflicts lead to negative emotional patterns and get harder to break over time. 3. Couples who argue frequently experience lower wound healing, a direct link between emotional and stress and physical health. 4. Negative communication patterns like avoidance, criticism, or making demands, even stonewalling, have a cascading effect that damages both the emotions and the physical well-being of your spouse. Remember the scripture in Proverbs 17:1. Better a dry crust with peace and quiet than a house full of feasting and strife? Yes. Strife doesn't just damage a relationship, it damages you. It takes a toll on your mental, your emotion, and even your physical health. But the good news is you can break that cycle, and gratitude is one of the powerful tools that can help you to do that. How gratitude moves you from strife to striving together isn't just a practice that you're going to do every day. It's a marriage saving mindset. It can shift your focus from frustration to appreciation and from resentment to restoration. I am living proof. So instead of conflict or another fight, view it as an opportunity for growth. So try this, my friends. When you and your spouse have a disagreement, take a deep breath and step back and ask, what is the real need in this argument? What can I be grateful for in my spouse, even in this moment? How can we use this challenge to understand each other better? Two are better than one. Today, write about a recent argument or think of a recent argument that you've had with your spouse. What have you learned from it, or what could you have learned from it? And how can gratitude change your perspective? Change your words. Change your marriage. Arguments escalate when we use blaming, critical, or harsh words. But words also have the power to heal. So my friends, remember, try to reframe your words. Instead of "you never listen to me," say "I appreciate when you take the time to hear me," and so forth. Gratitude is taking action and breaking the cycle of strife. So as we carry on for the rest of this week, next week, remember we're on our gratitude challenge where we will be checking in on our spouse daily, preferably before you go to bed at night. Like for myself, my husband is at home, he's working, so I would call him and check on him to see how he's doing and ask each other what are we grateful for in each other for this day. Also, the instructions are posted in the Facebook group, so join the Facebook group where you can see the instructions for the challenge, and also journaling prompts that can also further assist you. So remember, my final thoughts for you today: interrupt a negative thought with gratitude. Instead of thinking about what's wrong, identify something you're thankful for in your marriage. Choose your words wisely. Take a gratitude action. Strife doesn't have to define your marriage. With gratitude, love, and intentional efforts, you can shift from conflict to connection. Strife doesn't have to define your marriage. With gratitude, love, and intentional effort, you can shift from conflict to connection. I know what it's like to feel like your marriage is on the edge of breaking, but I also know what it's like to fight for your marriage, to seek help, and to experience God's restoration. So if you are struggling, I want you to know you are not alone. Your marriage is worth fighting for. Strife doesn't have to be your story. I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're grateful for in your marriage? Drop a comment, leave me a message, and also remember to leave a 5-star review. Until the next time, keep journaling, keep reflecting.
Before you go, thank you for tuning in to Journaling with Judith today. If this episode blessed you, please follow and subscribe. Also, share with a friend. Don't forget to join the Facebook group for daily prompts, extra guidance, and an amazing community of gratitude seekers. And remember to grab your copy of Journaling with Judith, available on Amazon, to make the most of this journey. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until next time, stay grateful, stay faithful, and keep journaling. God bless you, and I love you with the love of God.